What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Sam's Gear and Tech. I'm going to talk to you real quick about this Membrane Solutions water filtration system. This is my personal favorite. It's the one that I like to take on multiple day camping trips when I do go out. Now, I found this to be super useful, and really, I guess for two main reasons. Maybe there's more than two. I guess I'll talk with you about the pros and the cons. The con being, you can see this is kind of a lot in terms of a water filter for a backpacking style. It's kind of bulky and it's not overly heavy. I'll put the weight right up here so you can see it, but yeah, it's not overly heavy, but it does kind of take a lot of room up in your pack for a water filter system. So it comes with this. I'll start at the top here. Comes with like the strap system. It's like a roll top bag, so you can kind of roll it like that so it's waterproof. Then you fold it around just like a regular waterproof bag would work. And then that's your water in there. Now you can see that is a ton. It's 6 liters. So that is just an absolute ton of water to have with you at camp, especially for a single person. But I've had this out with, like, you know, myself and 2 others, and it gave us just a ton of water. Pretty much a whole day supply. You only got to fill it up once and then you take it back to camp. That's what I really like about it. We got like a buckle here, so you could clip that onto a carabiner or something. But then it's also got like a strap that comes around with a little carabiner of its own and clips in there so you can hang it from stuff like that. One thing I don't care for, and I thought about clipping it, is this tube is like excessively long. I got a tree here, I'll hang it up and show you what I'm talking about. So it takes something about head height, and then you still got all this strap. Even if I shorten it as low as it can go, I still got to go way, way up to my head, and then I don't know if you can see it there, but this thing is almost dragging on the ground, and I got to stand on my tippy toes and raise it as much as possible. So I guess you could do something like, I mean, that's not too bad, but then it slips and slides. You know, you gotta, it's right on the ground right away. That's a lot. Now, I did email the company and they said there was no problem to cut this. So probably with just any old pair of scissors, you could cut this a lot shorter. The tube just comes out like that, and it just goes inside a little nozzle in there. So I haven't tried it, but you should be able to cut it and shorten it. Yeah, I'll have to try it at one of these times, because I think I do want a shorter dealie here. All right, so I've got a life water bottle here, but all of these threads, these are kind of a standard size. So, you know, smart water bottles in particular are very popular with the backpacking crowd, but I think these life water bottles and a lot of these other types of water bottles are just as good, and they're BPA free as well. So when you pull the hose off out of here like that, if you just disconnect this red piece, and I'm not sure what this red piece exactly goes to, but if you pull the red piece off, then you can screw it onto a water bottle just like you do with the Sawyers. That's a very popular method to take one for dirty and one for clean. Yeah, so you do have that option as well. You've got this little stopper on the front, and it comes with an attached lanyard that you can remove if you want to. I have no idea about the standards and the you know, filtration way that's like the safety and stuff is measured. I know I've used this particular bag probably on 10 different trips, 12 different trips. I've never gotten sick, never had any problems. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, so then on the bag itself, you've got like markings to kind of tell you exactly how much water is in there. You know, some different tips and how to clean it and stuff is printed directly on the bag. That's how it's connected, in case you're curious. There's a close-up of it for you. The tubing comes with this little clip dealy here. So you can cinch off the tube. I do find that that doesn't stop the water from flowing. It lessens it, but you know, really you need to have that cap on. And generally what I do is I put it in like that, so it's at least horizontal. So I'll store it like that, because I just find it's gonna leak all over the ground. You're gonna end up with no water if you leave it for hours and hours. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing to have in theory, but I don't find that it is completely effective. All right, here you can see how high up I had to hang this thing. That's the top of the, it's hanging from a string on the tree, but stop it. You can see how high I had to hang this thing in order to just get it up off the ground. All right, so you can see I have the cap on and I have that thing cinched. Not sure if you can totally see it, but there you go. That is completely cinched. That's as tight as it goes. It is still dripping. It's very occasional. Yeah, there you go. Still dripping, but so I don't find that thing to work the greatest. However, I'm going to go ahead and open the cap and uncinch it so I can just show you how much water flows, because that's really important when you're filtering water, especially when you're on the go. So check that out. That is really, really fast. Compare that to a Sawyer. That is coming out of there super, super fast. So that's what I like about it. All right, well, I think I covered everything there. Hopefully that's all of it. Yeah, I'm gonna let that water drain out because it's been a while since I've actually rinsed that through, and yeah, I don't think I've rinsed it through since I did that river trip, where you probably found this video from watching that canoe camping trip. So yeah, let that clean out. I'll put a link in the description if you feel like checking it out. I try not to tell people, you know, what to do with their money. I just want to give you the information so you can make the best informed decision. I think for the price point, there's a ton of value there. It definitely has some flaws, but I personally like it a lot. So I will leave you a link in the description. It's an affiliate link. You know, I'll make a buck or two if you buy it, so it does help the channel. But yeah, make your own decision. So I appreciate you watching. If you like what you saw, you want to see more, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Give me a like, all that jazz, leave me a comment. And don't forget to check me out over at Camping with Sam Bananas. All right, everybody. See you on the next one.